Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today, let's take a look at the 2026 Cadillac CT5V series. Huge shout out to Randy Marion Cadillac for providing this sedan for me today. Take a look at their website. That link is down in the description. This CT5 is finished off in Typhoon metallic, and with options, MSRP is just over $65,000. Now this is powered by the 3-liter twin-turbo V6. It's paired to the 10-speed automatic. It pumps out 360 horsepower, 405 pound-feet of torque. This model here is rear-wheel drive. It weighs in just over 3,900 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in 4.8 seconds with a top speed of 168 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 17 gallons. You'll expect to see 18 miles per gallon in the city and 27 out on the highway. This has a wheelbase of 116 inches. Its overall length is 194.5. It has a width of 74.1, a height of 57.2, and its ground clearance measures in at 4 inches. Now, as we move on to the exterior styling, this model has a really nice design, especially with all of the gloss black. You'll notice the Cadillac badge right in the middle, along with a forward-facing camera underneath that, and then plenty of cutouts in that grille to provide additional cooling. This also gets a dark housing for all of the LEDs, along with some gloss black trim accents just underneath that. You'll notice there's parking sensors up front too, another grille in the lower section, and then even more gloss black for the lower section of that bumper. And then there's really nice lines coming down the hood to give it a great look. Now, as we work our way to the side, this has a set of 19-inch gray wheels along with the red Brembo brakes. You'll notice body-colored fender arches. There's more gloss black for the lower side skirt. There's a V badge on the side as well. And then the power folding side mirrors have that two-tone design along with having a camera and a turn signal. Now this also has the dual pane full moonroof up top. All of the window trim is gloss black as well. And then there's some very crisp lines, especially above the door handles, and some smoother indentions in the lower side skirt there, just to give it a great look. This is a luxury vehicle, but it has some sporty aspects to it with some of those features. Now, as we work our way to the back, you'll notice there's the body-colored spoiler. There's also the backup camera, all the parking sensors, LEDs for the lighting, and then you'll notice more gloss black in the lower diffuser and the quad tip exhaust. Now, this does have remote start, so let's take a listen. And then you just hold on that button to shut it off as needed. Now, you can also use the button on the key fob or the release underneath to gain access to the trunk space, where you have a good bit for this 5 Series. You'll notice underneath you got a little bit of storage, and then there's also battery access on one side, storage bin on the other, and then you can fold those back seats down. You have to do it from in the vehicle if you want a little bit more storage. And then you have one grab handle on that right side. It's a very lightweight trunk lid, so it's easy to close. Now, as we work our way to the interior, you'll notice there's ambient lighting on the exterior, and then the door handle is actually fixed to the body. So there's an electronic release on the inside that you have to pull on in order to unlock this. Now, this model has carbon fiber for some of the trim accents. You'll notice the brown stitching, there's some storage in the lower section, and then lock and unlock and the AKG audio. This also has the optional red seat belts too. And then here's the release to fold the seat down. So you can see you have a little bit of an area on both sides, but you have a pretty large cutout there, so you could slide items through as needed. Now, at 5'10", I have a good bit of space in the back. There's storage pockets, you have vents and auxiliaries, and then at my height, I'm just barely touching the headliner. You do get your own sunroof in the back here, just to provide some more light as needed, but I could ride around town. It's definitely doable for adults to be in the back. And then there's also the armrest with cup holders too. And then as we work our way up front, you'll notice that the door panel has the same materials. However, this has memory seats, power folding side mirrors, the trunk release, and more storage down below, and then the V badge down on the door sill. Now, this also has power operating front seats with one manual adjustment for the leg support, so you can use that as needed. Now, there's a small door sill to step over, but once we are in, we're greeted with a solid leather steering wheel with more carbon fiber accents, the V badge down below. But let's fire this up again and take a listen to how it sounds. And coming back to the digital gauge cluster now, you actually have quite a lot that you can go through using the smaller screen over on this left side. So if I go into gauge, I can actually go through the different driving modes, and it will change the background there and how you view this information. So very easy to do that. You can also link them to the driving modes. So when you change driving modes, the gauge cluster will change as needed. Now you can also pull up the map, so you have that in full screen to go through all of that. You have your assistance, and you have a clean setting just to show you your miles per hour. And then in the lower section, you can also push on the 3 lines there and then get up to your head-up display, where you can go through a few different settings as well. So Sport is going to show miles per hour and the tach. Track is going to show your shifting points along with miles per hour. And then Touring has just miles per hour and lane keeping assist. And then the last button here, you have launch control, which you are able to use, and it will show you your times over on that right side. So you can activate that when needed. And the last one is going to be for your trip information, so you can look at that. So pretty easy to go through it. Now for the steering wheel itself, you have Super Cruise, so that is this indicator up top. On the right side, there's volume, you have tuning adjustments, even a V mode. So you can actually configure that to your liking and set all of this up the way that you would like. So you have that shortcut you can push on and you're ready to go. On the left side, there's cruise control settings, heated steering wheel, voice commands, and your Super Cruise. Now there's also the e-brake. You have a dimmer switch for the gauges. And then with the rest of the infotainment system, you'll notice it's actually connected to the gauge cluster. So it's a really nice integration. The lower section is going to be fixed, so you can quickly get into all this information. There's also a split view that you can pull up. You can get into your music, your navigation, your phone, and then you have this Google search here where it will listen to your voice and pull up things as needed. You have your ambient lighting, your camera system, vehicle status, even My Cadillac, and then Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Now there's vents underneath that, and then you have your temperature, fan speed, where you'd like the air to go. This even has heated and ventilated seats. There's a parking sense control for your parallel parking as well, which is nice. You have parking sensors, lane keeping assist, and then a shortcut to the camera system. So you can push on that and pull up all of these angles for both your rear camera along with the forward camera. So you have no shortage of visibility. Now there's wireless charging and storage down below, and you have a few different driving modes. So when you activate that, you can go through all of these, and you'll notice on the far right, it will change your steering, your suspension, your braking, your engine. You have quite a lot that you can get into just depending on the mode that you are in. There's also traction control, auto hold, and the engine start stop. Now this is how you put it into drive. Reverse is all the way forwards, so you can bring up that camera system. And then you do have a manual setting, just pull it back without the release. That allows you to use the paddle shifters. So you don't actually shift with the shifter, you can use the paddles as needed. Now you also don't have to use it as a touchscreen system. You have volume, and then you have shortcuts behind that to get into your phone. You can pull up some more information to go through all these stats. You can get into your navigation, and then you can get back into home and use the rotary dial to further go through all of that. There's also 2 cup holders. You can open up the armrest towards your passenger there, where you have a spot for your phone, auxiliaries, and plenty of storage. You have a locking glove box, carbon fiber trim up top, and then this gets a digital rear view mirror along with garage door buttons. And then there's dome lights up top and adjustments for the sunshades and sunroofs, and you have the garage door buttons too. And then here's a look at visibility, where it's pretty easy to see over both shoulders. As we set up behind the wheel now for the CT5V series, this is one step below going with the Blackwing. So if you're not looking for that extra performance, you don't want those really cool bucket style seats, this is going to be a little bit more daily driver friendly, but kind of more of a normal sedan, but it gives you the sporty aspects and a lot of the handling characteristics with some of the fun V modes that you can go through. So as you hopefully just heard, I put it into the V setting where we have everything in a track basically, so that way we can really feel what this is like. Now I won't be able to do a lot of performance style driving with this, but we have been in some of the V series as press vehicles where we've got to drive them a little bit harder and really experience what they have to offer. These are very, very fun, sporty sedans. So with it in the different suspension settings too, that just adds to some more configurations with this being a daily driver, which is nice. So I have it in all of those higher settings, and from second gear, we can do a small acceleration. And we got a pop in that exhaust. So obviously if you revved it out a little bit higher, it's going to get a little bit louder and you might get some better pops in that exhaust. So it sounds good, not quite like the actual V, but you still have very quick paddle shifters here and just a really sporty family style sedan. It is a little bit on the small side, but if you're looking for something where you could take it on some trips, some mountain roads, things like that, maybe you're not doing a lot of performance style driving in this, it's still a great option that is perfect for daily driving and commuting. These seats are very comfortable too. At 5'10", I also have maybe 2.5 inches or so of headroom, and this is a height adjustable seat. So you can definitely maneuver this depending on what is going to make you most comfortable. Now, as far as doing a 3-point turn on a small road like this, again, it's not a big vehicle, but on a very tight road like this, we have a lot of cameras here, even with that top-down view, to really help us. And it's not all that hard to maneuver. Steering feels a little bit tight, but I still have it in the track setting for steering. So it might get a little bit looser, but even then, it's still very easy to turn around. So in just a normal setting, sounds good. Not too loud for a daily driver. And from second gear, here we go. And just a minor acceleration, we can get up to speed. Paddles are very responsive too. So this is going to give you a very sporty feel. Without going up to the Blackwing, you can have a really good combo between daily driving and sporty driving. But this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for this V Series model. And I like the integration with this screen. It's a really nice sizing for this. Some of the latest Cadillacs have gone across the entire dash, so I'm not sure if this will see that at some point. For 2026, it still retains this style here. I think we have a good bit to go through without it being super complicated. But as far as this drives, you can't go wrong with a Cadillac. This is going to give you a luxury feel at the end of the day, especially with the different suspension settings that you can get into and customize, along with the different driving modes too. So it will adjust your throttle response, the power that you can get to the rear wheels. All-wheel drive is an option for this. So depending on where you live, the power that you would like, the grip and the handling, you have those two different options to choose from, which is nice. And as far as just a normal U-turn goes, pretty easy to do that. Visibility is also really good to see. So it's a smaller vehicle, but it's easy to drive, it's easy to see around, and it's going to handle incredibly well for this type of vehicle. We have been able to compare this to some of its rivals, so take a look at those comparison videos if you would like to see some of the differences. Those pops sound so good. Just gives you a little bit more of that fun factor behind the wheel. And everything is in a really nice position. We also have the electronic steering wheel adjustments. So you have those power adjustments to dial that in as well. And overall, for the price, you have a really good sporty luxury family sedan. So if you want that performance, but you want a great daily too, the V Series is a great option to go with. So that is going to wrap it up for this 2026 CT5 V Series. Once again, huge shout out to Randy Marion Cadillac for providing this for me today. Take a look at their website, give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with our daily uploads. And I will see you all in the next video.